The fact that the word Easter is in the 12th chapter of the book of Acts in the King James Bible should not give anyone observing this supposed holy day hope or reassurance they are doing anything even remotely associated with the resurrection of the Jesus of the Holy Scriptures, no matter what these that masquerade themselves as Christians in Rome tell you, because it is not. The word Easter is of Saxon origin, which was given to the spring pagan goddess named Eoster, where these pagans offered sacrifices in honor to her. This also equates to the current German festival, Ostern, which refers to the same pagan goddess called Ostera. When we look at the King James Bible, one must understand that the King James translators were half Catholic and half Protestant, which gave way to tremendous wars between the two sides during the translation process. King James, being the son of Mary, Queen of Scots, also known as Bloody Mary for having burned over 250 Protestant martyrs at the stake, was obviously conflicted but did not want to lose his kingdom, as he was the first to be king over England, Scotland, and Ireland simultaneously. In the original Greek of the New Testament, the word Easter is Pascha, which is the word for the Jewish celebration of Passover. This celebration is a type of rebirth where God used Moses to lead Israel out of the bondage they suffered in Egypt. This naturally goes along with the crucifixion of Jesus and his resurrection, which show the same symbolism. Yet the original Easter story comes from as far back as 2100 BC, found inscribed on a cuneiform tablet in Babylon, where it describes an epic myth called the Descent of Inanna. This Sumerian or Babylonian myth depicts Dumuzi, or Tammuz as the Bible calls him, as married to his Babylonian wife Inanna, also named Ishtar, whose Canaanite names were Astarte, Ashtaroth, and Asherah. Tammuz would be equated with the Old Testament sun god called Baal, whom God told Israel not to worship time and again. The pagan Greek and Roman equivalent goddesses to Ishtar were Aphrodite and Venus. All these celebration days were celebrated at the spring equinox, when the daytime and nighttime hours were equal. For 3 months after this, the days grew longer, which is the natural growing season. The pagan goddess Ostera was often depicted with a hare. Another ancient reference of the egg in paganism goes back to Egypt, where it is a symbol of fertility, which also they had a custom of coloring and eating them at this same time of the year. In ancient Egypt, the egg also symbolized the sun. Now in Babylon, it was said that the hatching of Ishtar was from an egg who fell from heaven to the river Euphrates. Here is a 2nd century relief with Phanes emerging from the egg surrounded by the zodiac. He is said in Greek mythology to be the progenitor of the universe. The first reference to the egg and the rabbit is said to be found in a text dating to 1572, which reads, "Do not worry. If the Easter bunny escapes you, should we miss his eggs, we will cook his nest." So how does this tie in with all that is known as Christianity? In 325 AD, the Roman Emperor Constantine at the Council of Nicaea determined that Easter would fall on the Sunday after the first full moon following the spring equinox, which is quite significant. The problem with that is God told the Hebrews through Moses in the Torah, which we call the Pentateuch, in Exodus the 23rd chapter, "Thou shalt keep the feast of unleavened bread. Thou shalt eat unleavened bread 7 days, as I commanded thee, in the time appointed of the month Abib, for in it thou camest out from Egypt, and none shall appear before me empty." This means the Passover could be observed on any day of the week, not necessarily Sunday. It depended on the phase of the new moon. The feast of Ishtar was always observed on the first day of the week. Constantine had been on the Julian calendar, which was established in 46 BC by Julius Caesar, but Rome is a part of what the Bible calls the beast system, which started in Babylon. This beast system is described in Daniel and the book of Revelation and is said to be how Satan deceives the whole world in Revelation, the 12th chapter. Paul describes it as another Jesus, another spirit, and another gospel in 2 Corinthians, the 11th chapter. So to further his evil cause of deception, Satan has used the papacy, and specifically Gregory the 13th, to change the calendar from counting the days of the new moons in the Old Testament, which fell on any day of the week, in order to keep the feast of Ishtar, or Easter, which must fall on a Sunday. This obviously distances the Roman Catholic Church from the Passover Lamb, who is the real Jesus of the Scripture. Now, in order to ensure the Passover and Ishtar would not fall on the same day, Constantine changed Easter by a week. Remember? All this changes the law of God, written in the pages of Scripture, making Easter truly pagan and evil. On Saturday, June 8th of 2024, the Bible Life Channel and Daily Cross Ministries will be holding its third annual picnic at Henry Horton State Park, located in Chapel Hill, Tennessee, about an hour south of Nashville. You will be able to have fellowship and food with like-minded elect believers such as you see from last year. We will start eating around 11 to 11:30. So if you are interested, please contact me at 931-683-1076 to let me know how many folks you will have coming in your party. Thanks, and hope to see y'all then.